All right, remember the 5th of November, the gunpowder treason and the plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot. Remember that from V for Vendetta, Guy Fawkes, the quote. This time of year right now, we are coming about some incredible times to be alive. Some of the greatest moments in history are happening and unfolding right now before our eyes. And I want to comment on it because I have this unique perspective of being, basically thrown into. Ultimately, I'll just give you a background. My name is Gavin Mehl, and ultimately, when I out of college, I won't go all the way back, but out of college, when I went to college, I rushed Delta Chi, which was basically like a military. It was run by a Marine. Okay, we had a Marine. He was in the Marines, and he came out, became the president of the fraternity. And so we were run like a Marine, basically almost identical to boot camp. I mean, it was basically like a boot camp, hell week, and the whole thing, right? So it was absolutely insane intensity. So it taught me a lot about unity, and it taught me a lot about coming together and really standing up for what you believe in, becoming respect, unity, chivalry, knowledge. I mean, the entire process. But ultimately, through that process, it built like this, this will of like, never quitting. And one of the things that we, after getting thrown after that and going to business and all sorts of things in the story and getting hammered by the courts, and my own cases, and then losing with attorneys, attorneys just becoming failures, frauds, liars, cheats, and ultimately giving up on them now, to this day, I have some great attorneys I work with. They're absolutely stellar and amazing, okay? But for the most part, liars, cheats, frauds, snakes, and that was my own experience. And so I was like, I got to figure this out. So, figuring the, how to operate as my own litigant, and how to defend myself and how to become on the offense, and so I have that unique perspective and experience. And with that, we have this incredible time to be alive with understanding the law and what is actually happening. So a couple things that have happened. One, recently, USAIG, it's exposed now that people inside the U.S. government, our own people, our own elected officials, have revealed secrets to our enemies. Have not only revealed secrets, but they have been sending money, aiding and abetting our enemies, giving them aid and comfort with this money on our own dime. So money that we paid into taxes, filed our taxes like a good little taxpayer. And these people in Congress, many of them, took that money through slush funds through AIG and ran NGOs and sent the money with one NGO to another. Like, for example, the Kennedy Center is one of them that's just come out. Kennedy Center was just a money laundering operation. And so that money went to people in Congress and other people in what's called the deep state and from foreign entities. And they ended up taking the money out and running it. Anyways, these are crimes of treason. These are crimes of treason. High crimes and misdemeanors, man. These are serious crimes. Big time. This ain't just, I skimmed a couple bucks off the top, having a good time out, having a party. No. This is much more serious than that because these are aiding and abetting our enemies, foreign and domestic. Now, everybody deserves due process, so I'm not going to name other than freaking Jake Sullivan, who's going to be the number one, sellout here. But everyone else deserves due process besides him. So, and the reason I want to talk about that is because there's a lot more posts coming out about like Barack Obama, and he's with Big Mike, Michelle Obama, talking and doing. They're happy. Looks like they're celebrating their happy life. And I think that's great because what happened with them is Barack Obama cut a deal, okay? He cut a deal recently to sell out Jake Sullivan and all these deep state actors so that Barack Obama can basically get immunity, okay, or a pardon or testify against them. And bring down the actual people behind the scenes. Sure, Barack Obama did some things that were wrong too, but I believe he cut a deal recently. And that's why he's so happy. He's posting all these things online, celebrating with his, his freedom. And I think that he will gain freedom, and he will be a witness to testify against these people like Jake Sullivan and others who were part of overseeing the deep state in this operation for many, many years. And these old laws about treason that have really never been truly in our lifetime ever. We've never seen anything in our lifetime about it. But a long time ago, back during the Articles of Confederation days and then the Federalist Papers, when the great James Madison, was architecting our Bill of Rights, it was a lot of this stuff was written into there and really deep into the law about punishments for treason and Sedition Act. And it really is about aiding our enemies, foreign and domestic, and then, of course, giving that person due process in an open court of law to be whether or not they're guilty or not. And then the crimes are extremely high, the highest punishment, excuse me. So I think we're going to see that. It's a really exciting time to be alive. It's very, very exciting because this exposing the money laundering operation, it's not just money laundering. It's literally people who are going to be charged with treason, because when you send money to foreign enemies without authorization and then you get kickbacks on that and there's proof of that, it's going to be a big issue. There's no going back from that. This is not a misdemeanor. This is not just a regular felony. This is the high crimes. So we're going to see these things happening here soon. And, the other thing that's really pressing is a lot of people are confused about the executive power versus the judicial power and the legislative power in the three branches of government in the United States of America. So let me just comment on that a little bit, because we've had, and I'm coming at this nonpartisan. I don't give a F about parties, dude. I really don't. So I want just righteousness, liberty, freedom, purity of what the law says, the letter of the law itself. And, we do have statutes. These are also the law. That's how the legislators set them up. But ultimately, with the three branch of government, we got the people at home plate, and the people are there. They're electing legislative powers to come up with these laws. That's at first base. Boom. Second base, you got the judicial power, Article 2. Third base, you got the executive power, Article 3. These are called the three separate branches of government, and there's a doctrine called the separation of powers, and it's constitutional powers. They are separate, and they must be separate at all times. Now, the judicial power by the people, so when the people go to the judicial power, we can petition that judicial power, the judge, at a court based upon a legislative statute that says, hey, judge, we elected our legislatures, congressmen, to write this law, and this law says that these people on this side have to do this, and they're not doing it. So we need you to order somebody in the executive power to go and enforce it for us. All right, so we have that authority. Now, the judicial power, it does not have sole authority to go out and tell the executive power what to do. It can't just tell the executive power, hey, you're not allowed to do what you're doing over there. Because if you read, it's black and white. Article 1, all legislative powers herein are granted shall be vested in Congress of the United States, which shall consist of a Senate and House of Representatives. That's going to be Article 1. Article 2, the executive power shall be vested in the President of the United States of America. That's the executive power. Executive power is in the president's hands. He confirms his leaders through the Senate. Whether it's RFK, Pam Bondi, Kash Patel coming in on Friday. Next Friday, he's been delayed by some procedural motions, the FBI and others, and then the Secretary of Treasury. Now, the Secretary of Treasury is the one that the courts went to, and they said, hey, judge, or a judge said, you're not allowed to go, you Secretary of Treasury, you're not allowed to look at your own books in your power. So that is not that's not allowed. That's not a constitutional order. There's no authority under the Constitution where a judicial power can tell the executive power that he cannot do his job. He cannot look at books. He cannot look and audit things. The Treasury of the Treasury, which is the appointed position confirmed by the Senate, all authorized by law, Scott Bessent, he has the authority to do what he is allowed to do under the Treasury. He can appoint people. He can authorize people to come in. Elon Musk, that's what they decide. That's allowed. That's who the people elected. They elected the president. The president nominated that person, Scott Bessent. And now his job is to open up the Treasury, the IRS, the Fed, whatever books he wants to see. He can do that. There is no court that can stop him from doing that. It's not going to happen. And it's not going to be followed, I would imagine, if they did. So that judicial power, according to the three separate branches of government, cannot stop the executive power from doing what the president authorized him to do, because all the executive power shall be vested in the president of the United States of America. That's the executive power. The judicial power of the United States shall be vested in one or more Supreme Court and shall be in inferior courts as Congress may from time to time ordain and establish. The judges of both the Supreme Court and inferior courts shall hold their offices during good behavior. So judges who act outside of their oath, which they swear an oath to protect and defend the Constitution, it's very long and lengthy. In California, it's been cut out now. The second part of the oath they don't take anymore. So a corrupt judge back in the 60s said, "Oh well, we don't like the second part of the oath in California," and they got rid of it. They have no authority to do that. They can't get rid of the Constitution. A judge cannot do that. It doesn't work that way, but that's what's going on in California. That needs to be changed. It needs to be dealt with right now. But we got a major problem in California with that, where the judges aren't even taking the proper oath of office. When I say proper oath, I mean right out of the Constitution. They don't take that oath. They take only half of it, because the other part of the oath talks about, aiding enemies, foreign abetting, and I don't have any ties. Basically, it eliminates all attorneys in the state bar from being judges if they were to take that oath. So they don't do it anymore. Oh, we got rid of that. We don't need to do that part anymore. You get an oath, you'll see it's not proper. So we're dealing with the unconstitutional power in judges in California. That's just true. But when they take that oath, they have a duty to defend and protect the Constitution. And by overstepping their grounds here, they basically potentially lose the judicial immunity, and they could be facing, a motion for impeachment in Congress. Because if you're a federal district judge, that's the only way. They're lifetime appointed. They're the only way to get them out is a congressional motion to impeach by a congressman. So somebody like Honorable Paul Gosar, or what's his name from Kentucky. These guys are the type of congressmen that would do that. Bring those type of motion. These people are standing up for the people, man, and. Gosar's the top. This guy's a straight shooter. Also, there's another one. There's a number of great congressmen, but, Gosar's definitely the top. So, ultimately, this is where we're at right now. And I wanted to just draw people's attention. If you haven't watched the movie V for Vendetta, go check it out. It's a great time to be alive. Remember the 5th of November, gunpowder, treason, and plot. I know of no reason why the gunpowder treason should ever be forgot, because we are going to see in our lifetime people being charged for treason, starting with Jakey the Snake Sullivan. He's going to be up first, and he's going to be sold out as the head. He's going to be called out as the head of the deep state, the snake. Mark my words, Jakey boy will be on the top of the list as the head of the deep state, and Barack Obama will be the one to witness him. So will Hunter Biden. Hunter Biden will come into Congress, and he's going to testify. He's going to say, yep, Jakey boy Sullivan was the one doing all that stuff behind the scenes, getting me into Ukraine, making all the connections. He was the mastermind. Yep, Jakey Sullivan was, man. And Hunter Biden has to testify because he waived his Fifth Amendment immunity when he took that pardon. So he can't say, I choose the Fifth Amendment. I want to testify. So this guy's going to testify. Obama, maybe not, maybe won't. We'll see if he does or doesn't. I think he just cut a deal. I think he's going to operate in the background. That's my prediction. But, I haven't talked too much about politics on this channel, but this is so freaking exciting. This ain't politics, because you could pretty much write off and cut out all the geopolitical stuff you've ever thought of or heard about in the past. Scratch it. It's gone. Why? Because it was all done through fraud, dude. A massive money laundering operation with USAID, where they're sending money to foreign countries and NGOs. So if you're not pissed off about it right now, get pissed, because it's about to get crazier. Wait till they show what's going to be in the IRS. Wait till they show what's in the Fed. Wait till we go to the Department of Education. Oh, they weren't paying for schools and education. No. Wait, more is coming. Stay tuned. Hit the ones, like this video. All right. And I'm going to do some great shows. I got some ideas on some people I want to do. One is Red Pill Project, Josh. If you're not already watching him, it's Joshua Reed, Real Joshua Reed on X. Guy is freaking badass. I want to do a show with him. I don't like sellouts, so this guy's not a sellout. And, I have no sympathy for sellouts at all. I'm a freaking kind of one of those guys that, I've taken no ad money from this channel. I've taken no sponsorship from this channel. I'm in a way of a purist in a way. So in that aspect, so people sell out and they sell their soul out. I have no freaking mercy for them. I'm pretty ruthless on things. When it comes to those types of things. So I like Joshua Reed, though. This guy is not a sellout, and he understands geopolitical strategy in the new way. And he realizes, he helped me realize that the whole old way, like all the stuff that people are doing, strategizing in politics and all that, no, that's all out the window. That's over, because they cut the money off. The money's gone now. So all that money laundering that people were getting and going in other countries, and the CIA and, funding both wars and all this BS they were doing, that's all gone. They're not doing that anymore. So now we are starting over. So strategy all starts fresh now. So don't worry. If you didn't learn anything in the past, great. You're better off now, because we're starting over in a fresh strategy way where, we're going to actually do things by the book, where people actually have to pay money, and it's not USAID funding this stuff. Hit the ones. This is Gavin. I'll see you at the top.